Welcome to the Passion Beyond the Art Show. It's your host, Daryl, and today I have Jose Miguel Portillo. How was that, Jose?
Great. That was awesome. That's excellent, my friend. Thank you, Daryl. Thank you, everybody. Hi from Honduras, from San Pedro Sula.
Sweet, 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 sweet. All right, so me and Jose met at Circles. We were at the Circles
Yeah.
conference, and Jose kind of made himself just so known from that workshop when he mentioned that he has 500 volunteers. From that point, from that point, like everyone knew who Jose was.
Great. Thank God. Thank God. I didn't realize that that my storytelling was going to be so well received, but
But that was just for
praise
one
to God.
department. That's just for one area.
Yeah.
That's not like the
Yeah.
entire church. That's one area.
Yeah, yeah. Well then, we'll keep on going, because I was invited to the next year, and I'm going to be there, and I will try to do my best one more time,
Hmm.
and that's part of the service that I give to my church,
Hmm.
to the brands that I manage here in Honduras. But it's something like I don't know. I do a lot of sketchnoting. I don't know if I have something here that I can show it to you, but yeah, I do a lot of things about that because that's like an exercise that I've been doing since maybe I'm 37 years old, but the way I take notes is like that, drawing. So
Sweet.
sometimes I do the shape of somebody, and then I put the quote that that person or that people is saying about or telling about. So that's the experience I have gotten by several years, but I didn't know that it was going to call the attention.
Yeah, absolutely. It was great. It was great. All right, so let's take it back a little bit. Like, how did your creative journey start?
Yeah. Well, then my creative journey start like about maybe 20, 23 years ago. I was 14 years old. I was listening to the radio. My experience was first on that area on the radio. I began like a radio DJ, radio animator. My first creative job was to tell stories,
Mm,
to tell horror stories.
really?
Terror stories. Yeah, there was a radio show here in San Pedro Sula that was about that you have to call by phone and tell a story, a horror story. So I began to call to that radio station and to begin the storytelling of horror situations, legends that we have here from Honduras. We have something called the folklore in Honduras, and we have a lot of legends that are similar in the Latino community. But I did my best telling that stories, and I believe that that was my first creative participation. Then writing or taking notes for some radio novels, also radio shows. And my first experience as a creative was at the radio. It was a radio called radioactiva radioactive. So during the 2003 2004, that was my first job as a creative. Then I began to work in other stuffs, the graphics of the radio also, to have some ideas for every show that can have their own identity. So I began like designing their logos of every radio show that was on the radio station, and that was my first participation. I think so. That was the first thing I did. Then it began to multiply because there was another stuff. Then we were doing concerts here in Honduras. Reggaeton was getting popular. So we have to do all the flyers for the concerts to during those years, like some artists like Daddy Yankee, Don Omar, they
Okay.
were already popular in our country. 2004, those years. I believe that the first flyer that I was involved was in a Sean Paul concert. I don't know if you know Sean Paul,
Of
but
course. I was
yeah,
born in Jamaica,
yeah.
so I definitely know Sean Paul.
Well then, so I had a reggae music show named the Reggae Master Machine, and I love the reggae music. I love reggae music. I believe that is one of the best music genres in the whole life, in the whole story. So when they invite me to participate in that project, I was like thankful because wow, I'm doing the flyer for one of the greatest artists. So well, that was a part of my involvement, yeah, in that kind of area.
Wow, that is a story within itself. I love the idea about you telling like stories on the radio. Um,
Yeah.
what made you decide to call in and tell stories?
Well, I believe that it is because of the education in my home. I
Hmm.
think that my grandparent was also a great storyteller. My dad is an amazing storyteller. Sometimes you don't know if they are telling you the truth or they are inventing it. So it's really hard to believe that if and some people says that they don't believe that I am talking seriously, because sometimes they believe that I am putting more than it is. But no, that's like a hairy by, I believe. I don't know how to say the word, but yeah, it's in the blood of the Portillos. We try to always not make boring the story. We like to make the story to be. It can be the most boring story ever, but we try to make it happy
Okay.
or interesting or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
interesting.
Hey, that is. I mean, I think that is cool. Do you still do anything like audio wise?
Yes, sometimes we are invited to do some things in the radios, in the podcasts, for our church also. I have a podcast myself,
Hmm.
called Inspirados por la Palabra. I can send you the links later, but I try to do my best. It's like something short, but not so long, and I'm not full dedicated to that, but
Hmm.
anytime that they invite me, I'm always
Ready to go.
ready,
Okay.
ready to
Okay.
go. Yes, yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
So you went from a lot of audio, then you started creating stuff for other people. How did you how did you get to from there to where you are now? And that was more concerts and stuff like that. Right now, you are
Yes.
what? What are you doing right now? Tell us about what you're doing right now.
Okay, right now, in my job, I am the head design for a company named Grupo Comidas. We manage the franchises of Pizza Hut, Denny's, KFC for Honduras.
Wow.
So we do a lot of things with food. So I don't have anything here that can help me because of all my job. I try to not to bring my job to the home, but we have a lot of things that, well, right now I have something here. Colonel Sanders, some things on branding and the whole brand management is in our hands here in Honduras to those brands, and I am the one that I'm always checking if it goes with the guidelines and if it is correct, if the product is in a well position.
Hmm.
We try to do a lot of things like that, and that's my job. That's what I do during my 8 hours day. But then with my wife and with a lot of friends, we serve together in a church, The church name is
Okay.
Ebenezer. So there's, I believe that there is the place where I do more. You know,
Mm,
where I believe that my talent is well used. I'm not telling that in the job, in my job, in my work, my talent is not well used, but I believe that it has more purpose in the
mm.
church than in my 8 day, eight
Right.
hour, sorry, 8 hour job. Yeah.
Okay. So you are kind of in charge of the guidelines. So what are you doing at the church?
At the church, I am like I don't know, an elder in
Mm,
charge of the whole media management of the church. We are talking about the streaming, the radio station. We have a TV channel. We have a YouTube channel. We have Facebook, Instagram. We have Spotify. We have the whole platforms that we know. We have working in. We do all that part. The photography, design. We do everything that has to be with PR, with media. We are in charge of that with a lot of people else, right? Not
right.
only me, not
The
only my
500
wife.
volunteers.
Yeah. You were there. You were there. Well, more than 500, but thank God they are. Some of them learning. Some of them are they are really good. They are
Hmm.
really great in what they do. I'm really thankful with God because He has put me with a great team.
That's
To
awesome.
play.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, kind of tell me through this creative career, right? Going through the
Yeah.
ranks. What was that like in Honduras? Was that well received from like friends and family? Okay, Jose wants to be a creative. Like, was that well received? Was you looked on like a weirdo? Like, what was that like going through the years
Uh,
saying you want to be a creative?
well, it's really hard to explain to my family, especially to my mom, that I do creative job. Because she doesn't know what that's about. But I try to explain her uh, with my drawing skills, sometimes with my design skills, with my voice when I am talking in public. So it's really hard because my parents at the beginning, he wanted me to be a doctor, medicine. I was dreaming in sometimes like being a doctor, but then I realized that it was not a good idea to put your life in my hands. You don't believe in that, man. Don't, please do not believe in me in that way. But I did my best. I tried to study medicine, but I realized that it was not my. I don't know if I can say my vocación, my vocation. I don't know if the word exists in English, but it was not my profession.
Yeah, it's the same word.
I tried to, I tried to do my best but it was not my flow, as they say it on circles. It was not my flow. Yeah, yeah.
That's interesting. That is interesting. So, what was that like to you? Like, did you kind of were you that kind of that type of young person to where no one got it, but I'm still going to pursue it, or was it an emotional strain? Like, how did you feel like dealing with that?
At the beginning, Daryl, I believe that it was like a emotion,
Hmm.
because of some days in the early years, I began to be feeling frustrated, because some things in Honduras didn't work. In some days, I believe that it was not the country, that maybe I gotta go from my country, go somewhere else and
Mm.
look for it. But a friend of mine, a great friend of mine, that is one of the greatest creative I know, he told me that it was not necessary to leave my country to show people that I can do it.
Mm.
Frustration was really hard for me because at the age of 21 year old, I applied for being a creative director from one of the greatest newspapers in Honduras. The name of this newspaper was La Prensa, or is La Prensa. But during those days, they told me that I was too young for that job,
Mm.
and I was like sad because why do they believe that my age is going to be a problem? Because I believe that I got good ideas, but during those days, if you are a young person, they do not take you so serious, because there's a lot of examples that young people, do not have the responsibility that an older person will have, right? But uh, I believe that it was not my example. I was not that kind of person. I believe that I was a responsible person, but I was denied. I was
Mm.
refused. Okay, so but they still gave me job.
Okay.
Yeah, so they gave me the job as a journalist because I was good telling stories,
Mm.
so they began they make me be part of their journalist team, and I began to write the news, uh, all that kind of stuff. And I believe that it was a great experience, because I didn't lose. I have never lose,
Mm.
always, because a no, it has been a winning.
Mm.
Okay, for me, even no's, even the no, for me is a winning.
Mm. That's
They
good.
tell me no, no to that part, but then they say to me, okay, no to be a creative manager, but you can be a journalist for us. And they put me together in that team, and I began to develop, to realize myself that I was doing good. Also, I was learning, and they paid me for that, and that was great for a young man. It was great, right? But then you have to grow, man. You have to grow, and you cannot be always doing that kind of things, because that's not what you want to do.
Mm.
Okay, so I gotta find my way.
That's good. I love it. That is awesome. That is
Mhm.
awesome. So through all of this, was there anyone or any a group of people that you could say, like, looking back, this person always encouraged me, or this person was
Well,
behind me the entire way?
yeah, first of all, I believe that my first bosses
Mm.
on the radio station, they were amazing. Some of my directors during the newspaper always told me that I was doing great, that I can give more
Mm.
from always my bosses. I believe that I got good bosses,
That's awesome.
and yeah, and they was always encouraging me to do my
Mm.
best, because sometimes they feel like it's strange, because that was not my signature, because it was like uh, I don't know, not full job. So they believe that I can give more. You can give more. This is not enough. This is not Jose Miguel. What's going on here? Do you feel okay? Because this is not your signature. We need more from you. So my bosses, I believe that uh, we are going through the years, right? The
Mm-hmm.
timeline. Um, my bosses, my friends, my partners, also job partners were always there. From now on, my pastor also is encouraging me. My pastor Herman Ponce, my brother, his son Herman Alonso Ponce, is always encouraging me to do my best. They believe that I'm a great talent. I believe that the person that do not believe in me is myself.
Mm. Wow.
Yeah,
That's good.
because I've been involved with a lot of people that believes in me. I don't know how they take me on their projects on their projects. I don't know why, but I try to do my best, always try to do my best, because I believe that we are a personal brand, right?
Mm.
We all are a personal brand, and I believe that, well, for a professional, what we have to take care about us is our reputation. But when you have something else, like a Christian, if you are a son of God, you got to take care of something bigger, that is your testimony, and the testimony of Christ, for example. So I have a biggest brand to represent, that is Christ himself.
Yes.
So that's why I give my best to do not, how can I say, disillusionate. I don't know if I can use that word, or I'm looking here in the dictionary. Sorry, because I want to say the correct word. I don't want anybody to disappoint, to get
Mm,
disappoint.
mhm. That's good.
And that's what I try to do my best.
So it sounds like you had no fears or anything. What would you say if there was anything? What was the fears or struggles that you had to like overcome through this process?
Well, the fear, uh, I believe that it was to fail to others,
Mm,
disappoint others, not to get them angry, because angry. Okay, we can all get angry, but there's something bigger than anger, that is a disappointment.
mm,
So that's my well, one of my fears, Darrell. You got me. I remember one. What is one of my fears? To not be useful.
mm,
That's my fear. That's my real fear, not to be useful.
mm,
That's why in circles I was not just trying to be an spectator. I feel like I have to be always involved. I'm not accustomed to be just an spectator. I had to be involved in projects everywhere, and I think that is abusive also, right? Because no one is inviting me. But I believe that I gotta do it. I got to do something. I cannot be just staring. I gotta move. Because I'm not trying to be somebody. I'm trying to do something,
mm,
not to be somebody. I don't care. I don't care to be somebody, because I don't want the credits, but I want to do something, man. So for me, being sitting down is like no, that like being chained, and with strong chains. And I want to move. I want to do something, not to be somebody. I repeat, I'm not trying to be somebody, because I know that I'm somebody right now, but I want to do something. And one of my greatest fears is to be useless, or not be useful.
You see me writing. I'm writing that down. Like the way you put it, two things you said. Like one of your greatest fears is not to be useful. And then you
Yes.
said, I'm not trying to be somebody. I'm trying to do something.
Yes.
Where this thought process, this mindset, if you can kind of trace back, where did this come from?
Well, I'm not trying to be a religious man, okay? I'm trying to be spiritual. Where did I got this mindset? From Jesus Christ. Because he already knew who he was. Okay? I am, he said. I am. But he was in this earth to do something great. I cannot repeat what he did. Okay? We are clear in that. But he's my best example of how to do something, being somebody. Because he is somebody. He is the one. But he teach me that he was not here to show us who he was. He was here to show us what he was going to do. So I believe that there's where I get my ideals also, because uh, he was trying to do something. He did something. Okay, he did something. I believe in that, and that's what I'm doing here also. Serve, be useful. be
Mm,
useful. Okay, like he was, he he came to this world to serve. So if I am an imitator of him, I have to serve everybody else as he did.
that's good. That's
That's my
good.
point.
That's
That's my
good.
point. That's
That's
my
good.
point.
That's good. So,
Everywhere I go, not only at church, everywhere, everywhere, not only at church. And I am not trying to share the gospel to my bosses. I am the gospel walking. I'm trying to show them that I'm different, but I am not all the whole day talking about the Bible or about God. I wish I could, but I have to respect the spaces. I have to respect all that. But I try to be myself, and I believe that there was a one of the speakers. I don't know the name. I don't remember who was, but he said that his greatest experience was to be himself. That's the only experience I have being myself.
that was Craig.
I believe that it was
That was Craig.
yes,
Yeah.
that was Craig. Yes, that was Craig, and that's my experience also being myself and just telling them that I'm different. In if somebody asks me what makes me different, I will tell him
Yeah.
or tell her.
Yeah. That's awesome. I really love the thought process of I'm not I'm just trying to be useful.
Please,
I'm
please.
just trying to be useful. I'm just trying to add value through what I can do. Not not saying I'm anything special, but I just want to do something to help bring value to wherever I am. That's good.
Yes, that's the point, man. I believe that that's our purpose in life, in this earth.
That's good. That's good. All right, so let's jump into some fun questions. All right.
Okay, okay, okay.
What's that one thing you can't live without that's not your phone?
Okay, now I can live without my phone. It's okay. But I believe, well, first of all, without my glasses, man, I cannot live with this. I need these glasses the whole time. Only for sleeping, I don't need it, right? But what else? I believe that I can live without pens, paper, and pencils. I gotta be writing always,
Hmm.
always. My pastor says has a good quote. I'm going to try to translate it. Right? He says that it's better a bad letter than a good memory.
Hmm.
So always write. I believe that maybe I can forget it, but what I do not forget is that I wrote it.
Hmm. That's
I
good.
wrote it. Yeah.
And you
So
see,
it's better a bad letter than a good memory.
and I think, and I would say, I would add to that, like, it doesn't matter what profession you are, even if you're an electrician, like, writing is
Yep.
probably one of the most essential things that helped my
Yeah.
design career. Like, just writing stuff down, it helps you to formulate your processes better, helps you to think through what you're actually about to do. So I would say if you can add writing to your life, it'll be great.
Yeah. I'm going to show you something fast. This is my like one of my notebooks, and if you realize, I'm always writing. See, this is my notes. I love sketch noting, and if I miss something, I gotta post it and post over
I
here.
love it.
This is the way I take notes. This is the way I write my I don't know, my beliefs, my everything I am thinking on, my ideas. See, and if I have something else, I grab a post. I post it over there.
That is
Well,
awesome.
I'm
So
always
much talent.
writing, man, and drawing and writing,
That's
both
cool.
together.
That's cool. All right. So, any book recommendations?
Well, then, any book. Right now, I am reading two books. Okay, first of all, always the Bible, right?
Okay.
That's the Bible.
Always the
And
Bible.
and if you want and if you want me to recommend you one book of the Bible about and if we are talking about useful persons, I will recommend you. I'm going to show it in English because I don't know how his name Philemon. Philemon is sorry for your time, my friends, but Philemon is a great book, but I don't know if in English is the same name, Philemon. Or let me see. Wow,
Philippians?
I cannot find it. No, Philippians is one, but there's one small book. It's only one chapter in the New Testament, Philemon. But I don't know if in English is the same. Sorry.
No, there's no
But
sorry, no sorry.
Philemon, yeah.
No sorry needed.
Ephesians, then Galatians,
Yeah,
Philippians,
it's the same thing. P
Philemon,
H
right?
I L E M O N.
Yeah, I can recommend you that book.
Really?
That book is amazing. Yeah, Philemon, it's over here. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, same
Philemon.
thing. Spell it the same way.
Just one chapter, and there's a character in this book named Onesimus. Yeah, I believe it's Onesimus. Yeah, Onesimus. Read about him. He's a useful man. You will see. He's a useful man. And then I always recommend this book to somebody that I don't know if it, do not believe in himself, but this is a great book. I have it in Spanish, but I will. You recognize him, David
Mm-hmm.
Goggins.
David Goggins.
You can hurt me. It's a great book. And there's another one when you have the problem to say no. There's a book named Limits or Limites. Henry Cloud and John
All right, I'll make
Townsend.
sure. I'm gonna make sure I add those in the
Limits.
show notes.
The the book says when to say no, when to say yes.
I love it.
Take control of your life. Take control of your life because you have to put limits. God made us with limits and we
Right.
have to respect them. We have to respect them.
Limits. Oh, those are some good books.
No, they're really useful. For
Yes.
real. For real.
All right. So, what is the first hour of your day like?
Well, my first hour, first of all, I wake up, I stand up also because some people only wake up and then don't stand up. I'm trying to change my habits. Yeah, that's a problem. I had that problem also. I just wake up but didn't stand up. But I try to wake up, to stand up, to give a walk in my home,
Okay.
and during my walking in every room of my home, I began to check my wife, my little daughter Olivia, my dogs, my two birds, my one turtle. I have a lot of animals, and then I begin to give thanks
Mm.
during my walking. I'm always thanking, taking for saying thanks for this, saying thanks for that, thank for my neighbors, thank for this night that passed, thank for this new day that is going to begin. And during my I believe that is less than 60 minutes, but during my walking, I get ready. I try to make some exercise. Sometimes I go to walk to my residence, and if I cannot go to walk, I sit in my desk and begin to read or write. You know, but my first hour is about that.
Mm.
Then I begin to check my phone, social media. That's a bad habit because sometimes when you check the social media, you can get with first bad news, and that can, I don't know, contaminate you, right?
Mm.
Because you have to get rid of that. Do not begin with that your days. Begin the days giving thanks.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Make sure you stand up, though. Make sure you stand up.
Wake up and stand up. Like Bob said, right? Get up, stand up, and go fight for your rights.
Oh my gosh, Jose, you're something else. All right. So what is next? What is in the coming months, weeks, years, whatever you'd like to share? What is next, Jose?
What is next is to revive my project. We have a good project with my family. It is named Inspirados por la Palabra, or Inspired by the Word, by the Gospel. It's a good project. We want to teach people how to read the Bible, how to learn the Bible, and how to apply the Bible also in their lives. So that's next for Jose. I am doing some planning books. I want to show it to you. I have it right over here, like these ones.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is like plans of blessings. You know, it's like
Is that yours?
a notebook. Yeah, this is a prototype. But I hope that this is going to be soon
Wow.
in every place. I hope that people can read the Bible, take notes, write, because we have to write. You have to
Mm-hmm.
write. We have to give thanks for everything, and we have to have plans
Mm-hmm.
because God has a plan with us. So we have to have plans also, and
That's
we have
cool.
to do it. We have to do it, man.
So those are not out yet. Those are just samples.
Yeah, this is only samples, printing samples because of my job. I have to check menus, I have to check flyers, and I'm always trying to do my best. And in this project, I want it to be the best. So that's why something that I learned from Sean Fox. He says that it's better progress than perfection. So
Right.
I will progress. I will progress. I'm going to give the big step because I've been delaying this a lot of time. And this is only one thing. You can follow us on Instagram, Inspirados por la Palabra, and it's a nice project.
Okay.
We
Well,
want to
send
teach.
send me all the links in any way I can
Yep.
help. Just let me know.
Thanks. Thanks a lot. Thanks a
Yeah,
lot.
for sure, for
I
sure.
received the help.
All right. So as we get ready to close, what advice would you give to other creatives on overcoming whatever fear they're dealing with?
To not get paused, to not stop.
Hmm.
Please don't stop because the fear is a monster that will eat you. So you gotta run, you gotta move. Do not get paused. Go on, run, run. If you do not stay over there, go ahead, keep on going because the fear is dangerous. So the how can I say it? Uh, the farther you can be from him or from it is gonna be better. So just run, do it, go ahead, do not stay there, go ahead, keep on going. As we were talking before, don't just wake up, stand up and keep on going. Walk, walk, my friend, walk, run if it is necessary, or if it's more necessary, fly. But
Hmm.
get rid of the fear. Go farther from fear.
Mm-hmm.
Please.
That's
Please
awesome.
ignore it or
That's
ignore
awesome.
it.
I love it. I love the enthusiasm. I love
Thank you.
your genuineness. I do love that. I love the genuineness about you. It's pretty awesome.
Thank you, Daryl. Thank you. Thanks a lot. I
Yeah, so
appreciate.
absolutely.
And and thank you for this space. Thank you for taking me on count. I really appreciate. It's an honor for me. The day you wrote me, I was amazed. I can't believe it. That well, I called your attention, man. It's really really amazing. Thank God, and I'm trying to do my best.
Nah, listen, man. I know talent, and I know I have a good eye for people. Not just because you're talented, but because you're genuine. And I
Thank you.
think even during that workshop, when you were speaking, I could see that you were genuine in what you were sharing. Even though it was a question, but you were genuine. And I think me being able to do this is not a big deal. That this is my service to the creative community, where I can spotlight other people. It's not about me. I want to showcase all the other creatives out there. And the church got tons of creatives. And it's
Yeah,
time we put a spotlight on them too. So that's just my thought.
I believe that when you say church, I realized that in circles that was like something in common with a lot of people,
And
because
I
all
didn't
of them,
expect that.
or
I didn't know that. I didn't expect it. I
yeah,
didn't know that.
the most of them was or are serving in their churches. And that was amazing because I believe that talent, the real talent, the genuine talent, only grows in a correct environment. And that ideal environment is the church.
Mm,
Church is the place where you can make your talents grow. Is the perfect environment.
mm.
So if any young person is listening to us, or even not so young, and want to put their talents uh, to go ahead and grow, plant it on church.
That is awesome. Well, Jose, I
Because it
really.
is.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, 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 no. I was getting ready to find out. I was going to say, where can people find you and learn more about you? I'll put it in the show notes, but you can say where they can find you.
Yes. Well, I hope that you can find me in heaven. First of all, that's my greatest dream.
That's awesome.
If you want to find me, I hope that you can find me in heaven, man. That's my plan of life. I am doing my best. I hope so. I'm trying to be a good son, good father, good husband, good friend, a good example. But if you want to find me here, you can follow me on Instagram, Jose Miguel Portillo, or even in YouTube. Go ahead, look for Jose Miguel Portillo on Google, and you will find me. I've been doing a great job, a
You
great
have for
SEO
sure. You
job.
have. You have for sure. You have. I did check in on your stuff, and you have been doing a great job.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Well, Jose, this
I
has
did my
been
research
awesome.
also.
This has been awesome. I'm glad you were able to come on the show.
Yeah, I will do my best, and I will consider it. Right now I'm going to search more about that, and of course I'm going to be there. And if I am not there right now, we're going to see us together on next year, right?
Yeah,
On
for sure.
September,
Hmm.
on Circles. And I hope
Yeah.
that I can see you back and give you a big hug, my
Yeah,
friend.
absolutely.
A
Thank
big
you for
hug.
coming on the show, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you to all your audience. God bless you all. Thank you for the time, and thank you for supporting me.
That is awesome.